I know we have a roll call, but I can see that we have a quorum, so we'll go ahead. Proof of notification, Adam?
Let's take care of.
Okay, and I did put it at the library and at the city hall.
We did too.
You did too? Okay. We're so worried about not having it posted. Okay, we have a 10-point agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda? Okay, Mark Cooey moves and Barb Boyce seconds. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. And I sent out a copy of the minutes because I know you had to go through the website now. So I thought that was maybe easier. So did everybody get a chance to read the minutes and any additions or corrections? Do I have a motion to approve the minutes? Chad Cosgrove moves, Ingrid Glassmeyer seconds. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, we're gonna start right in with what we do here, extension update, and we have an extension report for each educator.
Hi, everyone. I'm Carlene Craddock. If you don't know me, I'm with the 4-H program and youth development programs here in the county. And just a brief report, since we do a different one each month. Just let you kind of give you an update on what's happening in extension as far as youth programming. Last night was our annual awards program, and I guess I'm kind of riding the high of that a little bit because it's always a fun celebration of the past year in 4-H. And we handed out over 150 certificates and pins and awards to kids, as well as awards to our 4-H volunteers, for their years of service. And I got to thinking about that, and I think that giving a volunteer an award for years of service doesn't really capture, it's hard to capture, what the value of volunteerism is in the county. And we do it through years of service, but in reality, it's the impact that they have on the kids. And I think that, and as I was thinking back about last night's program, we had a slide up on the big screen, a year in review of 4-H, and we had it playing throughout the program, and it was just photographs of kids with their whatever their 4-H experiences. And I think that really was what captured what program it's all about. And it's those smiling faces, and it's those kids who are involved with 4-H mentors and leaders, taking on the responsibility of raising an animal, or being a camp counselor, taking on leadership. Maybe it's being a club officer and leading a meeting such as this, so they at their local club level and learning some of those skills. So, I think that's kind of what it's all about. I just want to share a little bit about that because we're wrapping up our 4-H year and starting the new year. So if you know any kids who might be interested or would benefit, and I believe all kids benefit from positive youth experiences. So, send them our way, and we'd love to get them matched up with a club and get them started on some 4-H experiences. So appreciate your help as we reach out to the youth of the county, and just wanted to kind of give you a quick update and let you know where we're at as we're kicking off the new year. So thank you so much.
Do you have a license plate that says 4-H on it?
I do not, but there are 4-H volunteers who do.
I
We'll see them
follow
around the county.
And I'm like, oh. All right. So Adam, you want to give us an update on, I saw the ad, I brought it with, that was in the newspaper.
So for the human development and relationships educator position,
Yeah.
it did close.
Mm-hmm.
We had, can't remember right off the top of my head, right around the 10-ish mark. It wasn't quite 10.
Good.
We screened for that position. We invited 3 candidates for a preliminary interview. We'll be doing preliminary interviews on Friday. And we'll be setting what our final interview schedule is. And I don't have a final interview date yet, but I'll probably be reaching out to somebody,
Some
probably
of the
Lynn.
committee will be on that.
Yep, so I'll probably reach out to you first, Linda, just being the chair of the committee.
And I can
to-
let people know.
Well,
Right.
to ask to be part of the
Yeah.
team, and then kind of work through if
Mhm.
do that, just ask for one person to be on the final interviews. So if the interview team doesn't get too large. But so we are moving forward with that. So again, we're interviewing on Friday, the first round, and then hopefully we'll have some candidates to bring in for a final interview here in the county. The first prelims are Zoom type interviews, and then the second ones will be here at campus. So we're definitely moving forward with that position, so I'm pretty excited.
I think it's good you had 10 candidates.
So. Do you want?
Sure, we finally have our food wise educator position posted as of,
Yay.
well, Friday, the website or the link was live, and then today I'm starting to get things out. I'm gonna pretty tight turnaround. November 28th is the close date. So if you know somebody who is bilingual and has a passion for, you know, just improving their community. And I always say that food-wise educators are connectors and relationship builders. Nutrition is part of it, but it's not the only part. So they don't have to be, it's just a high school diploma. So it's not required to have a degree in nutrition or anything. Not that if somebody did, they could certainly apply to. But it is required to be Spanish and English bilingual.
How do you check how bilingual they are?
Yeah, so the UW, good question. UW-Madison has a sort of an assessment that they do. So we have an internal, she's a regional program manager, Yoli is her name. So she wouldn't be in on the first, but she would meet with them and do I can't remember what it's called, but it's an assessment. It's more of a conversation, but there is a different pay scale for a bilingual educator than just a food-wise educator, just recognizing that you are requiring a person to have a different skill set than just nutrition education. So you have to be able to, you know, translate that into Spanish and English, and that in and of itself is a skill set. So it's posted at 50 to 90%. The reason being, because sometimes with programming, we can have somebody who, I don't know if Christine Lockwood in the summer was 50%, and then in the school year, she was 80%, so she was 70%. This person could be 90% year round if that's something they would like to do. But it allows us a little bit of flexibility depending on their life. Also, in the event someday, if there gets to be another extension of Juntos, that could be another conversation of, you know, adding a 0.1 appointment or whatever.
Or what was that again? Fruta?
Juntos, it's a
I know
program
they did that.
a youth program
Yeah, I know. They did
for
that.
families. And,
Right.
really focuses on education and career.
Yeah, they get Chelsea to, or
Yes.
all about it.
Yeah. So that could be an expansion if that person would want to do something like that. So, and the funding was there for that, but.
So going back to that assessment, one of the things that they also do is they've got their assessment tool, but they also have like Yoli would sit in, we did a long educator in lacrosse, and they'll actually ask the educator a question they just answered in English, so this case Spanish, and then not only how they responded in Spanish, but then at the end of the conversation, Yoli, in this case, will actually talk about how, if the answers actually lined up in English and Spanish, to really look at that comprehension of the two. So it's kind of a neat process how we kind of work both the English part and the second language into the review process.
I think as far as the county, I know we're not actually paying for this as a federal pay, but it's really nice that we can be as inclusive as possible for our community. So it's an asset to our county and county board that you're pursuing that. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm super excited, like beyond excited. I think there's just so much opportunity in our Southwest. So this person will be serving Crawford, Richland, and Vernon counties like I do, or like Christine. We split things up based on, you know, what makes sense, not always necessarily within the boundary lines of the county. But that's why this person, I'm only 80-something%. And then, Christine is 80% year round. And so this person will have
potential to have the most FTE out of all three of us, recognizing that it, they might need, expand access in Crawford and Vernon counties too, which also have really a lot of opportunity in terms of reaching folks who they just haven't gotten a lot of opportunity. So I'm really excited about that as well. Thank you. I also thought I'd mention, last time I had the handouts.
Yes.
I'll just give you guys these.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Thank you for coming and a good update. Okay, Adam, and then we have the agricultural position, just lots of positions here.
Yep, so as you know, last time, we talked about Carolyn, moving into a different position. We talked about the regional model that, Extension Ag had moved into. But I didn't have at the time what that regions would look like for Richland County. Since then, we do have clarification on what the region looks like. So big picture, right? So Vernon was sharing with Sauk and Juneau counties, a regional crops educator. La Crosse County has an opening, and then all of a sudden Richland and Crawford were opening too. So for the regional crops position, we talked about shifting so that it's Juneau, Sauk, and Richland, and then Crawford, Vernon, and La Crosse would be another grouping for. So we have 3 counties share on a regional crops and soils educator. Then with our also, what we were being funded at a halftime. In addition to that, then we would do a 4 county share on a livestock educator as well. So it'd be Crawford, Richland, Vernon, and La Crosse counties would share for a regional livestock educator. So essentially what's going to come out of this is 2 educators that we have access to in our region for the same cost as what we're having in one educator. So,
Well, they'll have each have their specialty.
yep. So,
And how soon is that you posting that or have that figured out?
so first of all, I got to get all the counties on board, right? So,
Yeah.
I
Do
would
you
like
need a motion from us?
that would be, I think.
I didn't say action on this. Can we go ahead and do an action to accept that, or did everybody know?
Yeah.
I think. Okay, did everybody, what was the 4th county on the livestock?
So the livestock,
Crawford, Richland, Vernon, and,
La Crosse.
okay, I just didn't get it written
Yep.
down. So for the one, it'll be Juneau, Sauk, and Richland for crops and soils,
Yep.
and for livestock, Crawford, Richland, Vernon, and La Crosse.
Yep.
Okay, I got it.
Did you say how many hours would we have with their time?
So, really, I guess,
Does it just depend?
on paper, right?
Okay.
So, on paper, you would have a third of a person for the crop soils, and on paper, you'd have a quarter of a person for the, the reality of it is, right, in Extension, we're thinking about not necessarily you're gonna go this many hours for Richland, you're gonna go this many hours, and it's how do you make a program that's regionally relevant? And do you have a presence, and are you responsive to the agricultural producers and all those counties?
Will they each have a home office, so I can,
Yeah, and that'll depend on who gets hired, where they want to be located out of. And so the state actually covers their travel expenses too between the companies, so. That'll be something that we don't have to worry about. That's a lot of travel between those counties, but they've worked in a stipend for each of their travel expense account for each of those regional educators on the state side. That's.
Did you already say what their FTE? Are they both full-time positions?
Yeah, they both be full-time positions, yep.
any other questions?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Mark moves and Ingrid seconds, and you know how to write the minutes for that.
Yep.
All in favor signify, any more discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. I want to go back to something on the agenda of the human development, that the interviews are going to be this Friday.
Yep.
And then after that, and that will have to eventually go to county board. The county board meets the 12th. Are you thinking of the hire in January?
Why would it have to go?
I thought we'd have to accept that we're accepting the position, or we don't have to do
No,
that.
because it's part of your contract.
Okay,
so-
just still by the, okay, I just want to make sure there
Yep.
wasn't any glitch.
Yeah, because that won't be a county employee, that'll be a state employee. part of
Yeah,
the
but we
program.
pay part of that salary.
Well, you pay a contracted service.
Yeah, okay, okay. I just wanted,
Yep.
I didn't want it to have something.
No, we're good.
Okay. All right, great. Okay, your move to Melville Hall, update and possible action. I see lots of boxes. I see lots of
Yep.
things.
We've been moving over and, so we've, I think we've had a pretty good conversation, Candace and I,
Yeah.
we've been going through some things, we got the copy machine all
I heard
figured
you got
out.
that working, that's just great.
I know that, they've been down there, gets the water heater, get that kind of figured out.
Yep, we ordered the part for the inside of the water heater and Randy can replace it himself.
Oh, good.
So, but it did have to be ordered because it's a unique model apparently, and it was a heating element, so he will be replacing that as soon as it does come in. Then we will have hot water.
Good.
Yeah, so I think it's just little things that come up and just moving. I think we've got a pretty good plan in place. I don't think there's anything.
Well, the food wise person won't be in, I mean, I know you need the plug for the oven, but that, when would they be needing that?
Probably not for a while.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
we have so much onboarding now in Madison, I feel like. It's like my other educators getting on board soon-ish to start
okay, so there's
teaching,
time
so.
for that, right?
Yeah. No, I think all the media stuff, I think we've gotten pretty well.
Yeah, and did you talked last time about Pippin and you're doing that a different way now than with wires, or how did that work out?
Yeah, so originally we were thinking we had to be on Wi-Fi to access the shared drive, but we're actually putting our extension files now, and John can help me with this because this is the computer part, but we're doing it through OneDrive that's hosted by Madison, so we're kind of saving some space on the county server and being able to have greater access beyond where the county network is. So we didn't need to do as much with the Wi-Fi connection in that building as we thought we did at one time.
Which also gives you the ability for all of your educators to share.
Yep.
Share files and stuff back.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
put all
Well, that saves everybody some money and but it's more access for you.
Yep.
It's amazing how things can work out.
And you know, sometimes right on the surface, you know, it may look a little choppy, but I think we've had some pretty positive, or we've had some good conversations back and forth that have made positive things, so.
Well, Carlene, you're actually working there. Is it functioning?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little rough in the transition with the whole copy machine down and not being able to print stuff, but
Yeah.
we worked through it and yeah, we're up and running.
Good.
It's good, and I think the public really appreciates access too. It was hard for helping human
So-
services.
Are you putting a temporary sign on the door? Because I don't think we do anything permanently. Do the people know what door to enter? Because there used to be, you know, a painted sign on that door.
Yeah, we probably should do some signage there.
I suppose we got, it's amazing how many people still remember coming in there.
Yeah, well, I think they still did, but I think you should have something temporary. And,
We can do
you know, we're not gonna paint something on there yet, you know, but remember it used to
Yeah.
say, and take your boots off, right? It did.
As in like smart boots?
Yeah.
That would be for me.
That would be.
That was when I started working.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it'd be a very good idea if you just put up and, I don't know, somehow you can make a nice sign that I think so on the door to make sure.
But I know we've already held meetings out there. I think
Yeah.
we had some planning meetings and stuff at the Bennett Center already in. It's, you know, there's a lot of boxes that we have to shuffle through yet, and we're getting there.
Mhm.
So,
Are they thinking of bringing more people here from Extension? There was some discussion of that.
yeah, so Joy, some of you know Joy Kirkpatrick, some of you might not know Joy, but was working in Madison under the Center for Dairy Profitability. They were rearranging some space there. So she's definitely thinking about coming back to campus because she lives in Spring Green. As an opportunity. Jeff Morris is currently there. He's the statewide swine outreach specialist. He lives in Lone Rock, so to just spend some opportunities. And there, right, there's no real impact on the county there because we just connect into the Wi-Fi that's currently in the building and they do their jobs pretty remote, so. So there's some conversation about, again, having two state staff in addition to,
I mean, what?
two state staff in addition to
Yeah.
our county staff that are there. But yeah, so I think everything's been going well.
That's good. Any more questions for Adam about anything like that? This is our time to. Okay, so you have the invoices?
I do. So office extension accounts, pretty much some office supplies and some mileage, so it's pretty straightforward this time.
And the total is?
407.67. I don't know, I guess.
Anybody want to look at those? Yeah.
Oh, it's a little perfect.
Okay, do I have a motion to pay the invoices? Okay, Chad Cosgrove and do I have a second? Barb Boyce, a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. So public comments, anyone have a public comment? I don't know if this is appropriate, but I have a public comment. And Greg is here. There's a Love of Learning lecture tonight at the campus. And the Campus Foundation sponsors that. And it's called Come Have a Wild Twine. And it's about edible plants and usable plants. And if you come at 6:30 for the workshop, you can actually make twine out of plants. And at 7 o'clock will be a lecture on it. So you're welcome tonight at Pittman Conference Center at the campus for enlightening time on twine. But it's also on a lot of the plants that are in the area. So, and he's a botanist and worked in Madison for many years and campus and stuff and is retired here. Okay. I have no correspondence. Anybody have any items for, okay, this is my suggestion. Since December gets so busy and since we're sort of in transition, unless you have something that we not have the December meeting. Does anybody feel differently about that? Is that okay?
I would not be here anyways.
Well, then we're not gonna have it.
No, I'm just. That's me.
So then our next meeting, if we're still doing this, will be January 15th.
Just a quick question, if somebody would want to, if we have applicants, this is November 28th, we do interviews, it'd be probably in early December. If that's
Yes.
something, I would potentially invite somebody if they want to be part of a final interview. But if
Oh,
something happens, it would be before January. So
yeah, I think it'd be wonderful. You can send the email to me and if I'm gotta go home, make sure I get my emails on here. But if you're not getting a response, send it, or call me. But then I can send it out to the committee because I think like all of them, these are all really interesting positions and good for our committees and county board members to know about, depending on which committee it ends up with. So, yes.
to try to keep it small,
Yes, we are not
intimidating.
intimidating.
And
Right.
we already have enough people because we are. like,
Yeah, it's a
both
big,
of us, like,
yeah, but I
But,
think that would be very nice.
at least if one person wanted to
Yeah.
sit in, then I'll send you an email and just.
Yeah, and I'll make sure that we spread that out. Thanks.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
when did you say the next meeting is?
I suggested January 15th.
Oh, we're not gonna meet in December?
I suggested not meeting in December.
Okay.
Is that
January what date?
15th?
15th.
That's the second Monday. And I don't have any correspondence. Does anybody, do you have anything? Okay, so I will accept a motion to adjourn to January 15th. Ingrid Gessner moves and Mark Cooey seconds. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, everybody. I'm really happy things are moving along extension. So we're getting good personnel and get things back on track. Okay, so do you make home visits if I can't hook up to my internet home?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I think it was.
I'll go home and
that.
take the thing and unplug everything. So
Oh, there we
the other
go.
one will work.
Fire doesn't have.
You want me to write down?
Well, they're
Anytime you
email.
And I apologize, I never made a single motion or a single second.
Your presence was more than wonderful.
Just keep moving.